Hello everyone, I'm Sam Williams, a solution architect with Great Tech Group. Thank you for joining me at this week's 15 at 15 session. Today we'll dive into how to unlock the power of linked Revit data using Ideate BIMLink. About Ideate BIMLink, it allows you to export huge amounts of parameter or properties data into Microsoft Excel. Excel can then be utilized to review, make changes, and then seamlessly push back those changes into the Revit file. BIMLink becomes the standard for all of your Revit management tools, and the Revit schedule just wasn't designed to be as powerful as Excel. With the power of Excel to manipulate your Revit data, you now have an easy and powerful interface between Revit and Excel to maximize your productivity. The product also comes with some pre-configured links that allows our users to be productive quickly and easily. You can use BIMLink to report, export, edit, and re-import those data, including the name parameters, IDs, etc., in the Revit file using Excel, even for linked files. It enables fast, centralized, and accurate data management across multiple models and large projects. And you can do all of this without slow manual updates where you would have to open and edit each Revit file individually. There's a reduction of the high risk of human error including typos, missed elements, inconsistencies. We avoid the lack of global data view when it's hard to compare or align data across linked files. And there's a reduction of ID conflicts where duplicated element IDs across files can cause import issues. And also, it reduces the issue of the unscalable workflow, inefficient for managing data in complex multi-model projects. Now we'll see how it works in action for leveraging linked Revit data in a demo. For this, we'll focus primarily on preparing the linked Revit data for export into Excel. You can refer to our other videos on tips and best practices for actually manipulating that Excel data and pushing those updates back into Revit via BIMLink. Okay, now, in this view, we're in an interiors Revit file with the core and shell model linked in. The core and shell file includes exterior and shared areas, while the interior file covers tenant improvements. Both files contain some room definitions. By default, Revit schedules like doors or furnishings can only reference rooms from the active model, but with BIMLink you can report the room data even if it comes from a linked model, making this cross-model coordination much easier. Why does it matter? We can use this room-based information to modify the door or furnishings mark value to synchronize your numbering data. It's never easy to break a model into pieces, but sometimes it's the best way to coordinate your BIM data. So BIMLink eliminates the risk of unknowns and connects the spatial data information across multiple linked files. So how do we do this? First, we make sure the link is loaded and up to date, and then we launch BIMLink. Before we dive further into the example, I would like to point out that we do have additional resources on how to leverage linked file data on our website if you want to check it out. There we cover this topic a lot more in depth, including a specific guide on how to import linked Revit data with BIMLink, as you can see here, where it goes into the differences between the parent file and the linked file, the Excel file, and how the interfaces. And also we also have an article on how to report the linked files and room data using BIMLink with examples. Now back to our demo. First, you would want to create a new link definition based on the existing suite of recipes which come installed with BIMLink. So I would go click New, then I would go to the Architectural Links folder, as you see here. You will see a list of all applicable categories you can leverage from the current model. For us, we would want to focus on the doors. And after that, select Next and wait for it to load. We can now see a preview of all the data which was aggregated with the selected parameters that are applicable to doors. We can add or remove parameters as needed. Some of these we may not want, and as you can see here, we're just kind of going to browse through maybe what we want to move, removing some categories. Maybe we don't want comments, perhaps we don't want phase information. It kind of simplifies the data and it really cleans up the amount of work we would need to do in Excel once we would do that. So I would highly advise that. And also you can see the list of available properties that exist for doors that we may want to add. In addition to that, you can also select properties from other categories, maybe like levels or spaces or zones. So you have that flexibility as well. Be sure to, the most important for this, you want to ensure that your select include linked elements. And that will pull all of the same data that is pulling from the host file. It would also pull that from the linked file. This is a crucial step. Please note that this preview typically only displays a fraction of all the information which is being gathered by default. To view all data, you can select full preview, which will then show all of the elements in this linked definition in both the linked and the host file. You can also adjust your data by applying changes based on the categories, filters, or sorting as you would a Revit schedule. And you can also obviously change the name and add any other information, updates that you would want. After that, you select Done. And then from there, you would want to, you have your new link definition that shows up there called Doors. Maybe check the properties one more time just to make sure this has all the data that you want. But once that all looks good, you can export it to Excel. And as you export to Excel, you're able to save it as give it a different file name if you would want. But, and then once you do that, it's exported and then you have the ability to open the file. And here we see all of the door data we've curated across both files in a way that wasn't possible using native Revit schedules. From there, we can now fill in any missing data and we can resolve potential data conflicts, then push those changes back into Revit from Excel. So why use Ideate BIMLink? You can use it to seamlessly exchange extensive Revit data with Microsoft Excel, including linked files. There's rapid parameter data editing. You have the ability to manage data beyond schedules, and it's easy to batch create new Revit elements. Beyond that, you could utilize pre-configured QA, QC, COBie, and health check link definitions if you would need. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat and we'll be happy to assist. If we didn't get to answer, please reach out to us at support@ideatesoftware.com. The session is recorded and available online on our YouTube channel under 15 at 15 recordings playlist. And yeah, you can find us online at ideatesoftware.com to keep up to date on the latest features. Thank you for your time.